Welcome everyone to another episode of Tips from My Garage. My name is Lisiate Tonga. I am the father of two boys, husband to a beautiful wife. I'm the owner of online consulting business Upgrade Version U.0 and the author of ebook Q&A Between Two Addicts. And today I want to talk to you all about putting things into practice. And when I first created this blog in 2019, I titled it Put into Practice. I was 6 months into recording, and I didn't really have much engagement with my content. And basically, I don't think I was looking for much engagement, although I was trying to reach an audience. The hope was that I would just reach an audience or anyone that would resonate with my messages that I was putting out, in the hopes that I'd be able to help them to course correct and get their lives back in order. But after 6 months of doing this, my engagement wasn't that great, and to be honest, it really hasn't improved too much more than that ever since then. And that's okay with me. This is a passion of mine. I love doing this. I feel like I'm built for it. I feel like it's my purpose to help people. And if my message reaches one person, then to me, I feel like it's worth it because I put myself into that one person's shoe. And if it was me whose life was changed because of it, I, you know, the gratitude I'd have for whoever put out that information or that message that help me to change my life, to course correct and change my trajectory. That I would have been so grateful for that. And so the hope isn't that I have somebody out there going, "Oh, I'm so grateful for the content that you're putting out." It's just, you know, if the message resonates and it helps somebody to have a better life, that's that's all I'm doing this for. And so I also find that these type of messages probably don't get as good viewership as other things that are like more light and funny and vibrant and full of laughter and visual effects and that sort of thing. There's so much of that out there right now, and it's such a cheap hit, and it's available to you anywhere and at any time. It's really kind of hard to compete with that. But I do feel like even though the viewership isn't really that great, that it is still very important, and it's full of meaning and full of purpose. And I feel like those things resonate deeply with people. And I think for me personally, I'd just rather be doing something like that. I would feel like it is a better use of my time. I would feel more, it's more fulfilling for me to know that I the space that I'm in is the space of helping people to have better lives. And so whoever this reaches, I hope that you get something from it, and I hope that it moves you in a way, it inspires you in a way that you will take action to redirect your life in the right way. So, with all that being said, I want to talk firstly about the comfort trap. And I've spoken at length about this before, but it's always worth mentioning that us as human beings, we are hardwired for laziness. And what I mean by that is we have a part of our brain that is our survival brain. And our survival brain, it sounds like, oh, it's keeping us alive and it's doing such a great thing for us. But in actual fact, well, it does do good things for us. It alerts us when things are risky, and it helps us to escape trouble and really tense um, situations. But at the same time, it's also discouraging us from growing. And so if it's going to hurt us, whether it's somebody beating us up, or somebody that's going to beat us up, or if it's going to be like an animal like a bear that's going to jump on us, or whether it's like running or exercising or going on a diet, those things are also lumped into that category of risk. And so your brain doesn't really discern which one is actually good for you or not. It just looks at all of that together and says, this is going to hurt. And as a result, it's going to do everything that it can to deter you from going down a road that is going to hurt in any type of way, whether that's physically, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, anything. So it's doing a good thing, and it's not doing a good thing. And I guess that's really kind of the trick, isn't it? Is being able to discern, when it's doing when your brain is doing the right thing for you, and when it's doing the wrong thing for you. And so you should know that you are hardwired to be lazy. So it's not that you're lazy, is that you have something built into you that that doesn't want you to hurt in any sort of way. It wants you to be comfortable. It doesn't want you to be cold. It doesn't want you to be hot. It wants you to be just right. It doesn't want you to feel any resistance or any pain. It wants you to be neutral, or even more than neutral, it wants you to be at ease and comfortable. And so when we fall into this comfort trap of continually wanting to be comfortable all the time, not feeling or experiencing any sort of pain or anxiety or stress at all, then we can get lulled into this false sense of security, and then it makes it even tougher and harder for us to kind of break out of that comfort trap and that pattern. Comfort leads to stagnation, uh, which which means that you stay still, you don't move, you stay stagnant. And when things are stagnant, they get stale, like stale water, or things that don't move or have no motion ultimately become unrealized potential. And so, you might hear that you've got a lot of a potential. You might say to yourself that you have a lot of potential, but potential really doesn't mean anything until you put something into action. I do wonder how much potential has gone to the grave. So many people die or pass this world to the next without having realized what they were fully capable of. And I dare say that there would be so many people that go to their deathbeds wondering what they could have done, what could have been if they had tried harder, if they had not wasted their life, if they had not wasted their time. When people get to that kind of stage in their life and they're wondering whether they could have done this and they could have done that, there would be a lot of regret that accompanies that. I have a fear of reaching the end of my life and having that kind of an experience where I would be full of regret and wondering what I had done with my life. That is why discomfort matters. When you are uncomfortable, then you are outside of your comfort zone. And when you are out of your comfort zone, that's when life starts. That's when things start to happen. That's when growth starts to happen. That's when movement happens. That's when success comes. I know that there's a lot of fear involved there. There's a lot of risk involved. There's a lot of challenges that you might face, obstacles that you're going to come across. There's anxiety that comes with that because there's an unknown factor there where you don't know what's going to happen if you go down this route. So there's a lot of anticipation there. There's a lot of anxiety, angst um, built up because there's uncertainty. But you need to have uncertainty in your life in order for you to create, in order for things to be done or achieved that have not been done before. You cannot achieve something that you haven't done before without feeling afraid or the fear or rejection. The more that you are outside of your comfort zone, the more confidence you build and the more sure you become about yourself. And what that does is it gives you more motivation and conviction of your ability to be able to achieve a thing that's outside of your comfort zone. I want to talk about knowing versus doing. And many people say that they know, but they never act on it. And today, in this day and age, I don't really look at people what people say. I look at what they do, because what they do tells me more about that person than what they say. And if they say a thing and they do that thing, then I know that they understand something. If what they say and what they do are consistent, then I know they understand a thing. But if somebody says that they know something but they don't do it, I don't see it in their actions, then I know that they don't understand it. And there is a saying that goes something to the effect of, if to know and not to do is not to know, which means that you can know something in your head. Like you could learn something theoretically, like you can read about something and say, okay, that makes sense in my head, but until you put it into practice, then you won't really truly understand what it is. Like I could say to you, you a habit has a trigger, it has an automatic action plan, and it has a reward. And so the way that you change your habit is by replacing the automatic action plan. So you have a trigger. We can't change the trigger because those will happen. But the only thing you can change there is the automatic action plan. So that's the behavior that's automatic in your head. That's the thing that puts the behavior into action to get the reward that will come for that particular trigger. But the way that you change that is you have to change the automatic action plan to a new action plan that's going to be more beneficial to you. So I could say this to you, and you could say, "Oh, that makes sense in my head." But until you actually go out and work out what habit it is that you might have that you want to change, and then create another action plan and then start replacing it when you get triggered, you won't really understand what I'm talking about. So theory doesn't actually become knowledge or wisdom until that thing is put into practice. And not just put into practice, but put into practice consistently until something is understood. Or in the case of a habit, that the behavior has changed. That's when you will know, okay, I understand what they mean by that. And so that's the difference between knowing and doing. The question I would have for you is there something in your life that you know but you haven't put into practice yet? And if so, then I would challenge you to try that thing it is that you think that you know and put it into practice and see if you can understand it on a deeper level. We live in a time of instant gratification, instant information, everything you can get at your fingertips at any moment, at any time of the day, any time that you want it. And that includes a sea of motivational content in many sorts of forms. And you can consume as much motivation as you can handle on a day by day basis. But the question is it changing you? Are you becoming a new person? I think we all get lulled into this false sense of security, of certainty of our future because of these feelings that we get from this motivational, these inspirational content that we consume on a day by day basis. And it even gives us this feeling that we are on our way, that we are headed in the right direction. And I don't mean to demean any of this motivation, because it is out there it is designed to motivate you, to get you to get up and to do the thing that you need to do. But there is a difference between consuming it and changing your life. And so I guess the question I want to ask you is are you sitting on the sideline consuming it, or are you on the field playing? Are you getting your hands dirty? Are you getting your knees scraped? Are you falling on your face? Are you trying new things? Are you exploring new avenues? Are you reaching beyond what you initially thought that you were capable of doing? We don't want to sit by and watch the world pass us by and our lives pass us by without having put in our best foot forward. And we really need to put into practice those things that we've said that we were going to do. So I challenge you to get out there and to try the thing that you've always said that you were going to do but haven't put it into practice yet. It's only through putting things in motion that you're going to reap the benefits of it. And at the end of the day, that's what you should be aiming for. You should be aiming for change. You should be aiming for a new version of yourself. You should be aiming for new horizons, new things that you haven't explored yet. Anyways, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. 1